Hey Yang, Game Face here. And actually, here, let me turn on the right screen. Again, I did the wrong thing. And welcome. I'm screwing up my intros and outros lately. Hey Marcus. Welcome back to Planet Coaster, believe it or not. I know this doesn't look anything like Planet Coaster, but it is. It's definitely Planet Coaster. There's no doubt. Yeah, I see you got that for me. Okay, so I've done some stuff. Some things have changed. This is not... Hey, Mikhail. Or Michael. This is not the thing we were dealing with yesterday. Well, so I have the old fire hydrant from yesterday, and I have this one. So the old one from yesterday. So if we look at this, this is the almost the final render, and we're at 232 triangles. That's within the limits, so we're good. If we open the old one, when we bring this thing up to what it needs to be, that's not good. Those are all the circles are still, there we go. This thing is 17,000 triangles, and it's not even round yet. So, I know it's a different fire hydrant. I also know that things are getting all weird and screwed up. But I think the new one is better. And I'm going to just take 10 minutes, and I'm just going to show you the technique that was used to build the new one. Because, hey Meganico, because it wouldn't be fair for me to continue without you having an idea of what was done to make that. So, fire hydrant version 2 looks pretty fire hydrant-like. Hey Jeffrey. So, you know, and again, if I crank this up, it starts to look better and better, really. But we're not going to be cranking that up. It's not first rendered into a scene in a movie. It's rendered into a video game. So, video games aren't at that point yet. Video cards can't render things like that. So, the last thing we need to do is add these bolts. Now, I'm going to tell you, I've had some issues adding the bolts. But before I do that, let's just do a quick review of what was done to create that. Just quickly. So the first thing I did was I added, I'm just going to show you how I popped out the shapes. Because it was built from a cylinder this time. No. So basically that's where everything started. And just like all the other things, all we did was go in and split this thing into smaller pieces. But we went in and split it in a measured way. And what I found out yesterday, whoops, was I could go in, put this in here, just click it down and then go change its factor. And then it's impossible to make it round. Okay. And then what? And then do it again. So I'm just going to do it by hand. I'm not going to measure everything. And then I'm going to do the same thing down here. Break it up. You'll also notice that I've switched from 3D view to orthographic view, I think it is. And I'm looking at the front of this. So then I'm going to go, and this is the cool part. I figured out I was taught how to use these tools, and it made all the difference in the world. So I'm going to go and shift select all these faces, delete them. Then I'm going to select, go back to edge select, select this edge, and then I'm going to go circle. Seriously, that's all. That's what it took. But there is a problem. Where am I? What am I looking at? What am I trying to do here? Okay, there we go. There's a problem. Obviously, it's all indented. Oh, I know what's going on. Okay, so circle. Here it is. So we don't want to flatten the circle. Circle again. Relax the circle. Circle again. And that gives us a pure circle. So now if I look at it from the front, that's a pretty good circle. It's a pretty good edge from here too. And now all I did was E to extrude it. Let's do that again. E to extrude in the y-axis. And pull it out. Am I going to play Red Dead today? I was going to play Fallout later today. I played Red Dead yesterday. Not that there's anything wrong with playing, you know. Now I'm going to use size. So I hit S to bring the size tool into play here. I'm going to extrude it again. Sorry, I'm going to extrude. Oh, it was no y-axis. Sorry, I'm doing the wrong thing. We're going to bring this out. And then we're going to take this edge again, and we're going to use the circle tool on it once more. Now we're going to oops, I did it in the wrong place. Okay, so we're going to pull that out a bit. Circle tool and flatten. So now we have an extruded, flattened circle. So as you can see, okay, it's impossible to make it round. I've already shown that it is not impossible to make it round. We already loaded the model. So if you want to ignore what you're seeing, bye then. Sorry. I don't care. So there we go. We've got, you know, we've been able to do this and pull this out right here. So all I'm going to do is extrude in the y-axis. Extrude in Y. You know, just build the things I need. Extrude, click. size, bring it in, and basically that's what the whole step is, to bring out, create the bolt and everything like that. That's all it is. And then when you go to the trick to all this is when you go in and apply the modifier to subdivide this, you can see it's going to screw everything up. It's going to round the bolt out. It's going to round everything out. But what if we select an edge and then we press Shift E, we can change the amount of effect that has. So I can bring that right up and make it square again. I can go click on this, and you can see how much it's broken up. And then if I press Shift E, again, I'm adjusting that. I can make that a sharp edge. I can make that a curved edge. I can do anything with that edge that I want. And instead of it creating, creating a ton more triangles, it just, 1 second. So instead of creating a bunch of new triangles in order to break it up, I'm just creating, the pieces that I need. There's nothing extra here. And then you end up with so much less triangles in the end. And that was the big thing. Was that method of using cubes just blew the whole thing up into a huge mess. Because it was unpredictable. I could not figure out what it was going to do when it was going to divide things up. This, you can look at it and you can see it's going to be obvious what it's going to do when it divides things up. So, then, the thing is, you select this. What did I do? Extrude. No, it wasn't extrude. It was... Oh, yeah, it was extrude, click, size. Just bring it in. And then you got the edge. So, as you can see, as soon as I break this up a little more, everything's fine. And I can always go in and click this. Whoops, I'm not on edge. Click this edge, and just by Shift E, I can change the curve on that anytime I want. I don't have to mess with adding extra geometry. So that's getting much better at getting to a circle than what we had before. So I'm going to go back and I'm just going to open the fire hydrant that we're working on. So this is what it's got us. Now if I turn the subdivide off, this is the model itself. I know smoothing's on, so it's kind of, there's flat. There's the model. And that model has 1,776 triangles. But the important thing was when it's subdivided, it's not a billion triangles. Hey, cream cake. And that was the important thing. Why are my subdivisions not showing? I gotta shut off, don't I? So yeah. So the next thing we gotta do is the bolts. And I was having problems with the bolts. I'm gonna try it one more time, and then I'm just going to do it the I'm not going to say the easy way, but I'm going to say it the way that I know will work, by just copying bolts. So we need one bolt on the bottom. We need smaller bolts on the top and bottom plates of the cap. and then we're just going to merge them all in. So we got to make sure that our origin is set where we need it. And I'm going to go and add a cylinder. This cylinder will be much smaller than this. It will have 6 sides. It will have a radius of, I don't know, 2.5 centimeters, and a depth of 1.5 centimeters. And then we're just gonna move that into place. Now we gotta watch this, but I think we're okay. Now, basically, it got created in the center, and now it's been offset by a certain amount. And what I want to do is I just want to basically tell the system to take that and spin it around and put 6 of them down. But I don't want to have to put 6 of them down myself. I just want to say, hey, put an array of 6 of these down in this pattern. So in order to do that, I'm going to go into this view, and we're going to add, again, Shift A, an empty plane axis. And it's basically added a plane at the bottom that has no surface. It's just an empty thing. We'll delete this after. And what I want to do with this plane is I want to rotate it around the Y or around the Z axis by 60 degrees. Because every 60 degrees there should be a bolt. So then what we're going to do is we're going to go back to our bolt. So I've selected our bolt, and we're going to add an array modifier. And in the array modifier, instead of just having an array of these, hey, DJ KD, long time no see, how you doing? So in order to add the array so that it works with the plane, I'm gonna check the object offset and choose that empty that we chose before. And then I'm gonna make 6 of them. And yeah, it's doing the same thing. I don't understand what I'm doing wrong here. I'm doing something wrong. Before, when I did it last time, wrong, they were going up. It is kind of weird. Okay, so relative offset. Notice that? Like when I want to get when this is right, I don't know if that's right actually. That is weird. Shouldn't be like that. Okay, we're gonna have to raise this up a little tiny bit. So that would be GZ. We use shift while we move it to get the accuracy we need. Okay. Crazy, but we have a circle. Now, that's fine. I am I am just oh, yeah, that's good. Sorry. I fought with that for an hour last night. I never thought of moving the plane around. But the person who I was watching, hey Ellie, do this, didn't move the plane, so that was why I didn't think about it. And now I just saw a pattern when I moved the Z-axis and it worked. So, what we could do is, if we knew where this was, I'm not going to do it that way. Okay, so what we need to do is we need to take one of these and we need to duplicate it. And see, this is where the problem occurs. Yeah, it's not going to work the way it worked for him, so I'm still doing something wrong. Hey, PZ. So, the idea was you could just copy them, move them up to the next level, and there'd be 6 even bolts, and you'd move it up to the next level, and there would be 6 even bolts. But I think the problem is, well, I don't know what the problem is. Do not know what the problem is. So what I'm going to do is I'm simply going to apply this array. And then you can see what it didn't go. Apply this array. And then, come on. Oh, there they are. Can I do it this way? I think I can. Whoa. Okay, so that seems okay. No, it doesn't. They're at different heights. They're at different heights. They're all at different heights. There we go. How are we going to get these at the same height? I'm actually surprised. They do basically look like they're at the same height. Okay, well, we'll try it. No. That was a subsurface modifier. There we go. Whoa. No. Okay, let's go from the top down. Okay, so this needs to be here. Actually, it might need to be here, and that thing might need to be pulled out a bit. Delete? No, let's not delete it. Okay, that looks good. And then we're going to duplicate it. There we go. And we're back on our main cylinder here for a moment. We're going to go into edit mode. I'm going to alt select. I'm on faces. I don't want faces. And alt select this. Shift alt select this. We're going to hit S Shift Z. We're going to size this out just a little tiny bit. The other thing we're going to do here is we're going to hit Shift E, and we're going to pull this out so that it's a little more squared right there. Again, I'm going to select this in here, this, and again, Shift E to change the thing, and I'm going to tighten that up a bit. We can't have all that loose. And there we go. Got our bolts. Now what we need to do is select everything. And I think it's Control J. And Control J. And there we go. We've got a single mesh. Oh crap. Maybe Control J that way. Yeah, there we go. We got a single mesh. I screwed everything up. Okay, let's undo that. What I need to do is I need to go to each of these. Yeah, I should have done this on the first one. Okay. I need to select the edges on here. What just happened? I need to select the edges on here, and I need to make them so they don't I don't know what's selected. Oh no. Oh no. So it would seem that I can't change these right now. I can't select an edge. Okay, there we go. Now Shift E, and we're going to make that 1. Actually, we're going to make that 0.9 because bolts even have rounded edges a bit. So that'll stop those from changing once we join them in. Good. Now, click that, shift click that, Control J, no, undo, click that, shift click that. Okay, so everything's merged into the last thing you select. Okay, good. Now our bolts are still bolts. What's supposed to be round is round. What's not supposed to be round is not round. The plane has been deleted. And I think we have ourselves a fire hydrant. Hey, Costa Kid! Oh yeah, I learned this stuff pretty quick. You know, it's... Whether or not I get good at it is another thing altogether. But I do pick up these things pretty quick. Okay. There we go. Once I get used to the keyboard, it'll even be better. Well, I think now what we should do is save this. And now we should... Oh. Now we should take it all apart. It all must be disassembled before we can do anything with it. Now, I'm going to be... I don't know. Hey, Wolfie. So I'm going to be pretty loose about breaking this up. First, I'm going to break it into levels, and then we'll split it. So let's prepare for all this. Okay. So I need node editor. I need UV map editor. So right now we're at 8,600 triangles. Okay, so I do have some tricks here that I can use. Let's go down to wireframe. Now, my model has 2,156 triangles. There's got to be some places here that have like the same triangles. Like if I were to select, like we don't have a lot. The other thing would be to undo back to where the bolts were. Now there could be. This is about learning, eh? More than anything else. This is so that we can build things that are much more detailed. So obviously that is not going to cut it. Well, I can try this. We can add a decimate. We can just turn it down by a very small amount. We can see what we end up with. Well, we still have our center line. We still have all our circles except for, you know, in here. So that's not so bad. I know it looks funny, but basically what it's done is it's just started to break down triangles a bit. If I go into solid, it still looks the same. But, of course, let's try. I can't believe that you know, 18 bolts added like that many triangles. I could fix that. That's fine. Okay, so let's start cutting this up. Okay, what I'm going to do before I do anything else, I'm going to save again, and I'm going to save as V3. So now we're working on the third part, I guess. And what I'm going to start to do, we're going to get back into edit mode. And I'm going to start to cut this up. It might not be simple to select every vertices, but we have to. We already got that one. And we should be wrapped all the way around down to the bottom now. Okay, so what we're going to do is, I can't even remember the key anymore. No, that's not it. Control E, mark seam. I'm going to do this as well. So now we've split it down, right down the front. Let's let's choose this one. Control E, mark seam. We'll choose this one. Okay, so we have a seam straight down the middle, we have a seam here, and we have a seam here. I'm going to select that. I'm going to select okay, I'm going to select the vertices down here manually. I'm going to try to select the vertices down here manually. Ooh, that might be a lot harder than I thought. Okay, well, maybe it won't matter. Well, we'll just cut them here and see what happens. Right? Mark a seam there. Hey, Elliot. Mark a seam here. And mark a seam. Do I need one for the very top? Maybe. Okay. So, you unwrap. New. What's going on? Oh, duh. Now I hope this still works once I do this. It should still work. How many faces are we down to? Yeah, that's right. I gotta do, that's right. There we go. Woohoo! Finally, that's the first texture map or a UV map I've ever created that looks like a UV map. Okay. Image. New. There we go. We've got a texture. Let's undo that image, new. You know what? Well, we don't want it to be red, do we? Okay, well, whatever. So we need the base color. And the base color should probably just be white or an off-white. It should be somewhere less than 90, I think was what they said. So there we go. Now, what we're going to do here, you can sort of see the pieces. Like, you can see that this is the main body. This is the piece along the bottom. So we're basically going to create a bunch of different maps here. One is going to be a base color where there's going to be some, you know, edging done so that you can see, you know, underneath here you can see that there's some, you know, differentiation to the color that's applied. Hey, Regulus. Yeah, I'm like so totally happy with it. I've never unwrapped to something that looked like something that was on a texture that I've seen before. And I'm like, wow. So, you know, we can see that this is the top piece. Here's the bolt. Oh no, it's not. Okay. This is these two pieces. So basically what we need to do is we need to take this somewhere and we need to paint this all black. We need to paint in 3 different or 4 different masks the way we want to be able to color this. Now I think I've probably made a mistake here. And we're probably going to have to back up a bit because I need to add another thing in on those edges here. So we're going to have 4 more pieces that are going to need to be painted as well. And the reason for that is these are going to be able to be different colors. I already broke up the one off the top, but I forgot to break off these ends. So let's undo our way back and add those. And by the way, I have, cause you know, I have they won't let me go any higher. The undo steps to 256. I would have gone to 512, but they wouldn't let me. Okay, so what we're gonna do is, because I believe these would be different colors, I'm gonna go into here. I'm gonna select that. And I'm going to mark a seam. I'm going to go and I'm going to select, Alt select, I should say that. Control E, mark the seam. And I'm going to do the same on this other one. Now, some of these things I'm guessing I could have done before I mirrored this whole thing. But maybe not, maybe not. I don't know. Maybe seams don't come along with that. These are things I just don't know. I could write 1,000,000 books on things I don't know. Or I could just go to the library. They already have 1,000,000 books on things I don't know. Okay, we got that marked. Okay, so now we can see our other pieces in here. Now I'm going to go new. We got ourselves our image. So in our material here, I'm going to add a new material. I'm going to change it to the Cycles render engine because I'm not going to make that mistake again. And I'm going to add a new material. We're going to delete this. I'm going to zoom in here so we can actually see what's going on. We're going to add this shader. Because, you know, this has a roughness map. This has anthropic filtering or whatever. You know, this has metallic. This has some of the inputs that this has a normal map input. This has the inputs that we have on the thing. You know what I'm saying. I'm not just babbling. Okay, I'm babbling just a bit. So now what I want to do is I want to add an image, a texture, image texture, and we're going to change it to Untitled 3. And then I'm going to pull that in there. So now we can go into Texture Paint and we can paint this. We're not at this level going to concentrate on any heavy painting. We're going to have to make multiple images in this. One of them we're going to have to paint certain pieces. One of them we're going to have to paint certain other pieces. So the first thing I want to do is I just want to do a general, you know, light to darkness. The base is only going to basically be different levels of gray. So, for instance, you know, I don't know if that's a thing, but now we can easily find that on here. Well, we probably easily found it on here anyway. And you can see that I've actually painted that on there. Whoa. So initially, I don't know if I'm good enough to do this. Yeah, I was keeping up. Hey, where's my? Hey, Patrick. Yeah, I was looking at it the other night. I was like, that's awesome. I didn't think it would be that high already. You know what I'm finding weird? Is I don't seem to see the bolts anywhere. Okay, whatever the case may be. These, I believe, are this, and this. So let's create our paint maps, our base paint maps, where things will be red, where things will be blue, where things will be green. You know, it won't necessarily be red. But okay, so this is going to be 1. There'll be the primary body as 2. I think this will be 3. This might be 3 as well. So let's deal with the primary body first. And what we need to do is we basically need to come in and we need to paint that area black. I need a bigger brush. This needs to be black. I got 15, Marcus. Because, of course, I'm looking at how many people are watching on Twitch as well. Now, there's a problem I seem to have with this. And that's accuracy. It's not a sharp edge. You know what I mean? Hey, Nightmare. Okay, if I zoom way in, and draw a black line. Sharpen it with F. Okay, this is going to work. No. This was... Or was it 0.8? Well, stuff gets everywhere. Like it is up in here as well. Okay, we want to swap that back. Very difficult to do the corner. I'm not painting... No, fire hydrants aren't red everywhere. There's like neon greeny fire hydrants. But I'm making this so people can choose the color of their fire hydrant. This is a color mask, not a color that I'm applying. So when you put your fire hydrant in your map, you'll be able to have whatever color you want. The way I'm going, this is going to be very dirty though. Like, meaning there's going to be smudges all over it. Okay, let's bring this brush size up a bit. Okay, so that would be that. Now, is there anything showing up there? No. Okay, so now what we want to do is we want to mark that this needs to be painted. This needs to be painted. And this needs to be painted, because these are also the same color as this. So that main body piece will be the same color. So we need to paint all these pieces that got marked. Now, as you can see, it's definitely easier to paint in here. It's more accurate to paint on the painting when it comes to the corners and the edges, though, unless you're painting against something you don't want to paint, which then it's not more accurate. So yeah, I guess either way, it's what is around it that seems to make the difference on what you can paint and what you can't paint easily. So again, this is only one image out of like four for well, maybe three. I don't know how many colors that we're going to have here. It might only be three. But again, this is not only learning about texturing and something that I can find a lot of examples on how to build as a fire hydrant. The other reason I chose this was because it's going to allow us to do like use a lot of different techniques all in one little project. That's the other reason we're building a fire hydrant here. So again, these might be red in somebody's world. Somebody could have like purple fire hydrants. Maybe we'll put fire hydrants into glow world and they'll be purple. What I should have done here was just export this. Horizon Zero Dawn. Sorry. That's the what's your favorite game answer. What I should have done is exported this. Somehow export it with the lines on it. And then we could have built it into Photoshop, masked, like properly done everything. But right now I'm just gonna go in and I'm gonna like clean up the edges in here. So there we go. That's basically that. So we're gonna save image as. We're gonna go into it's in fire hydrant. And this will be material 01. No, it's just material. Yeah, so I'm just going to call it material. And this is F1. Hey VG fan, welcome to the stream. So this is F1. Now, what F1 is, and I hope this works. No, of course it doesn't work. No, that's not right. There it is. Whoa. There we go. So what we're doing here, and I got it checked just to make sure I'm doing it right, is in the materials, we're creating the FlexiColor mask 1, 2, 3, and 4. We'll have to do base color, which will basically do like a darkness. You know, it'll basically be a gray mask that'll sit underneath everything and show through the alpha blend mask, if that makes any sense. So this is material underscore F1. And that's why we're naming these things like that. So now what we want to do is we want to go and create another image. This one we'll call F2. And now up here we'll change to material F2. And we should be painting material F2 now. Huh. Weird. I don't know. Oh, here I go again. Sorry, guys. So what I did is I created the new image. But I've done it wrong. New. There we go. Okay. I might have to make some adjustments to that other one too, but I can make those in Photoshop. So what we need to do now is apply. What's going on? Okay, I don't even know what's going on. I don't know why all these things are here. I don't know. None of these things are going away. I don't know why this says F material 2. Because I never named it F material 2. Oh. I pressed F at some point? Okay. But how do I get this on the editor? There we go. I don't know. Okay, so we've now painted all these things, all the body. Let's paint the tip pieces, because they're going to we'll be able to make those a different color as well. So that's this, 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 and this piece. So it's not terribly complicated, but it is a lot of manipulation and work trying to figure out what's what, especially when you're like first time through. The Bobo seems to, I don't know. Think I'm a nerd? I have no problem with that. He does realize nerds rule the world, eh? Well, except for one moron. Yeah. So that's the one half of that. Oh, and I didn't realize that I didn't have to worry, because this one's being painted too. I'm being all careful not to cross the lines. Now I do have a tablet and a stylus thing that I could be using to do all this, but I wonder what all this is. A whole bunch of little floaty pieces around somewhere. I don't know. So now in the game, when we go to choose this, this will be another color. So you'll be able to have an orange fire hydrant with black. Like you'll be able to have a Halloween fire hydrant. You'll be able to have like a Christmas one, which is red, green, blue, you know, green on the body with different colors around the outside and stuff like that. But of course, who wants a Christmas fire hydrant? That's just not good. Blender doesn't have much, because I don't think these lines are here, eh? These lines are an overlay, but I don't see anything in the painting. Like I can paint a texture, I can paint a mask, but there's not really much for actual drawing and painting tools. But like I said, there's a way for me to get this mask out of here, I think, and have a representation of it in Photoshop so that I could create masks around it and, you know, only be painting what I need to be painting. Shading is in base. So that's F2. We've basically painted everything that gets that other color. The black, okay, so in Planet Coaster, when you have a model, there's 0 through 4 possible colors you can change in that model. What we're doing is we're using a black mask to mask off the things that they can change the color of. That's all we're doing right now. So when the game loads, it goes, okay, it's got an F1, an F2, and an F3 mask, so we're going to expose 3 colors. And when they change the F1 mask, we'll change what color the things that are masked and black are in F1 to whatever they choose for F1. So you could have a red fire hydrant with red caps and black bolts, but when it comes to the shading, like what we're going to see here, that's going to be done on another thing altogether. Because obviously, the amount of effect that these colors have to be able to be changed. Does that make any sense? We'll be done this in a minute here. Painting, well, not in a minute. We'll be done painting in 15-20 minutes. And we'll put together the model. Well, there's a lot of work to do. There's a lot of work. So we also have to do the different level of details. There's 5 more level of details we have to do. So yeah, we'll get there. But whatever the case may be, image, save as image, material F2, and there's our second thing. And if we look at these, they don't have the lines on them. They just have the black blobs and stuff like that. So next, I see you. Okay, well, we're gonna have to tidy this up just a little tiny bit. No. Okay, not 5. There we go. We didn't get anything else on anything else. Okay, now, image, save. Okay, so material 2 is done. Image, new image. This is material F3. You're just everywhere, aren't you? Okay, so I think we need to paint this and this. But first, we need to change what we're seeing here, and that needs to be changed to material F3. And there we go. And I don't know why I need to change out of painting and back for it to figure out what I'm doing, but we do. So, we need to paint this. And we need to paint that. Oh yeah, I keep on forgetting that I can paint most of these things that this touches after because it's nowhere near them. Oops. There you go. Don't do things in one step. Let go of the mouse every once in a while. Guess what? All the bolts can be different colors. Isn't that awesome? The bolts can be F4. Now, I think this is what I'm looking for. I could be wrong, though. No, this is what I'm looking for. Oh, I couldn't even imagine doing animations in here. Okay, there's something wrong. The bolts just don't exist. The bolts don't exist. Yeah, exactly. So this is the third color. iOS? I don't know. I would probably say yeah. Or maybe no, maybe not iOS, but like on Mac OS. Okay, so we got a problem. None of my bolts exist. Okay, so this is material F3. Okay, so this is the base color. So in the base color, what we want to do is we want to create some, you know, like markings. You know, I don't know how to best say that. This is not the best piece of software to be doing this in. But what I really, really, really need to figure out is where are my bolts? Why did the bolts not exist in this picture? And to figure out where or why the bolts don't exist, if the bolts don't exist, right, I need to change the material here. New material, base color. Okay, so we have this. We have our maps. What I'm going to do on the base color initially is I'm going to paint the whole thing black. Because I want to see that we have bolts. We have bolts. So now I'm going to go down at the pixel level and I'm going to start to figure out where these bolts are. Are these the bolts? The weird thing is I don't seem to be able to paint them. So why are the bolts not... You know what I'm saying? It's all one mesh. Like, it's all cylinder. Bolt's gone. Bolt's there. Bolt's gone. Oh. There might be a way to change the way this thing paints. Okay, so I don't know what those are. Let's go back into edit mode. They're the same as anything else. You can sync the UVs to the model. Ah. Yeah, my mind's blown too at this point. Meaning I don't think it's gonna work anymore. No, that's not what I want. Oh, there's a mask thing. Oh, never mind. Hmm. Ah, unified strength. That's what we're looking for in our paintbrush, I think. So we can paint sharp lines. Oh well. I just don't understand why this is a thing. Like it's painting them pink or whatever. If I can make them green, I can make them greener, but they're just not painting like normal things. And if I did that, you know. Bounding box icon. I don't even know where that is. Paint. Okay, there we go. That means if I move anything. No, it's just hard to find. And you have to be in a certain mode to even be a viable option. I'm a little confused at this point. I'm more than a little confused, to tell you the truth. I don't understand how my bolts are any different than any other piece on this thing, but somehow they're magically different. They're not part of this object, which is the only object I have. They were created within an array. Yeah, I'm baffled. Like, nowhere do they look any different. Wait a minute. Okay. You can see, yeah. But there's no yellow. Like, as far as I know, these bolts are around here. Wish I knew what these were. Oh. Really? Why aren't... Oh, they're not painted in this one because we didn't paint those in this one. Okay, never mind. Yeah, I'm not getting it. I'm just not seeing it at all. There's a couple of things I'm not understanding about these. One, where's the rest of it? You know what I mean? They're not part of it. They're just not part of it. They're a different thing. They're not physically a piece of the other thing. But yet they're a piece of the other thing. Now, when all the stuff I went through in learning how to do this, that wasn't a problem. Just simple join and everything was fine. But with me, it'd be an issue. Okay, Jeffrey. Yeah, thanks. I'll get it. Look how much further ahead we are right now than we were yesterday. They don't. Well, I go in here and try to paint them. They don't paint like everything else. Like everything else just paints. These just sort of turn gray slowly. and yet don't affect anything on here. But this is the weird thing. Okay, let's try this. I think they're on here. We're just not seeing them. Oh, look at that. Something over here affected the color of those. See, something over here affected the color of them too. Brain exploded. What? Do any of us really see? Does any of this really make any sense? No, I'm going here with problem solved. I'm gonna before I close and reopen, I'm just gonna drop these things in here on the corner. Because look, you can see the black pixel. You can see it. It is there. That's crazy. But it works. And hey, I have no complaints with it works. I'm a software developer. Things like this happen. This is not BC anymore, though. This is going to be F4. But yes. But obviously there's the corner, each, I don't know what's going on. Okay, so if we close Blender, if we save the file, the only problem I have with closing Blender and opening Blender is undo is gone away. Okay, so we got everything painted. So let's add a new image. And again, this is material underscore base color, BC. Yeah, you'll have to go back and work forward with it again. Okay, so what do I want to do here? We've got our 4 color masks. We want to go with our base color. And in order to do that, I'm going to change this to... Oh, it changed this time. Okay, so what we want to do here is we basically want to give this some off colorness. And maybe that's too... Like, okay, so I can go in here. The only problem is this leaves a sharp edge. You know what? Image. Save as image. Material BC PNG. Okay, so right now, we got that, we got that. We got this is the base view. We're decimating it down to the number of triangles we want. Why is this not working? Because I am in texture paint, object view. So we've got so we're at 34,000 triangles. We don't want to be. We want to be here at 8,600 triangles. Yeah, yeah. Eyeball next to the camera. This eyeball next to this camera. This eyeball next to this camera. Yeah, I didn't realize I had to shut off and view. No, I'm making models to import, figuring out how to import models into Planet Coaster. So that's our goal right now, is basically just to make one model with the colorable color masks, with the base color, and just do a single import. It's not going to work out right the first time, because I'm going to have to figure out how to do the, you know, the other masks. Like, I'm going to have to figure out how to make it all black and in the crevices and just things like that. But right now, we've got most of our pieces. But I have 600 too many pieces in this. So we're going to save this right now. I'm just going to call this final, which is the final shape. And now we're going to go through and we're going to what are we going to do? We're going to apply this. Okay, so there we go. We have an object with 8,600 triangles. We're going to add a decimate. We're just going to bring this down to 8,000 triangles. You know what? I'm going to bring it down a little further. That should be more than enough for Planet Coaster. So, I guess what I do now is Control D, or no, Shift D, escape. Apply. Oh, no, that would be fire hydrant underscore L0. So this is the first level of detail. But again, I have too many why too many triangles? I just took... What? What? How do I have more triangles now than ever? Oh, because it's showing me all the triangles for all the objects. Well, that's no good. How am I supposed to figure this out? Ah! Okay, faces. Okay, we go back here. Like, how do we get it out of these numbers? Because even if it's not visible, it won't be rendered. How does it matter? Well, that's the camera. I am confused. But whatever. I'm often confused. Let's go back and rename this to fire hydrant. And now what we want to do, we'll hide L01. We'll take this, and I'm going to Shift D. Right, I'm going to Shift D. And now we got fire hydrant. No. Underscore L02. L02. Why is it L0? No. Sorry, that's wrong. L1. Okay, so play. Yeah, I'll have given up by next week. No, Martin, the ThemeMaker'S Toolkit is not easy to use. Well, it's easy to use. All it is making a zip file with certain things in it. It's making those certain things that's going to be everybody's problem. So, yeah. Okay, so what I'm using is the decimate thing, which basically takes everything and reduces it and reduces it and reduces it until I can get to the point where I've got my L5. So we're at 30, 20. It's not way too hard. It's not. It just takes time. You like, that's like, I just hate seeing people give up. You know, I've already spent, like, this is it. I've spent 43 hours in Blender so far. So I've been taking, like, it's not just me, don't rely upon the information I give you. I can give you some awesome tutorials that if you go through them, you'll walk out of it knowing so much more than you walked in with. And you'll be able to build so much better than you were able to when you walked into it. So it's not just this, it's what you do with this. And it's just going to take time. But you are right in one sense, Wolfie, that if you don't have the time to invest, you're just not, or if you can't keep your interest for that amount of time, you're not going to take it. And yes, there's going to be tons of models on the workshop that people can use. But you know me, those of you who've been here for a while, I really don't use models from the workshop. I don't. I have this like rule where I say, nope, no models from the workshop for me. Yeah, it's just going to take time. And everybody knows how much better we get at Planet Coaster as we go. How much more our worlds become more real. How much, we know certain things to do in order to make these things happen. This is not going to be any different. Planet Coaster is truly less of a game when you're doing the sandbox mode as it is designing a world in 3D. Yes, you've already got the static meshes to use, but now we can build our own. Yeah, I don't know. I just hope people don't give up, because it's going to be, there's going to be so much we can do here. And again, I have mentioned that I am not the best person to teach this. There are so many other things, like the guy who built the fire hydrant here. The fire hydrant that he built was not to go in a game. He stuck it in an No, not 43 hours on a fire hydrant. No. I've spent 43 hours in Blender total. That's 43 hours in Blender. I started off with a square. I built wallpaper before I started going into this. And yeah, you've gotten a lot better from one day. Exactly. Could you imagine if you spent 5 days over 2 months? How much better you would be. It's just, that's all it is. It's just time. Which sucks. Huh? How did that get to 1? There we go. Spooky Park. It hasn't moved since this came out, but it will. As soon as I have fire hydrants for it. Okay, so Shift T to duplicate it, Escape to put it back where it was. And finally, we need to name this Hydrant L5. Now, we all know I'm going to upload this and nothing's going to work. So, File, Save. Save as, not save. And this is not final, this is going to be LOD. Fire hydrant LOD. Now what we're gonna do is we're gonna come in here and we're gonna delete this. We're gonna delete the camera. We're gonna delete fire hydrant. And now what we end up with is 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5 levels of detail. It's got 20,000 triangles total, so I can guarantee that we're well within the distance, within the settings. But something's wrong here. I need to go into here and apply that. There we go. So there's our models. File. Save as. And version 1.0. There we go. Export FBX file. Oh, no, you know what? V 1.0. Okay, see, there's a problem with their... there should have been no reason I should have had to gone through all this level of detail creation before actually uploading this and checking if it worked. It's a huge waste of time. They even talked about in the video, yo, you don't have to do this, but you have to do this. If you don't have level of details, they won't compile it, and they won't let you put it in the game. It's plain and simple. You have to do all your level of details and submit it, and then, yeah. So, in the background here, I am going and trying to figure this out. Okay. So we got this folder, THEMEMAKER'S Toolkit, fire hydrant. And in here we have the fire hydrant and our materials. This material is bad. Let's open up, let's just drag that into Photoshop. And I'm going to select all the stuff that's not white, that should be white, and make it white. And then we'll just save that file. Okay, so that's fixed. We're gonna add this not to firehydrant.rar. So we have fire hydrant 1.0. We're going to take all these files and we're going to drop them in there. Now, I'm also going to go and I'm going to grab this. And I'm going to quickly, whoops. I'm going to quickly set that up to be, come on, let me. Why won't you let me edit it? Photoshop, no open JPEG? Ugh. Okay, it does. Save as icon .png. Okay. Okay, I think we got everything. I'm going to drag the icon into the zip file. And now what we're going to do is we're going to go create a new item. It's a fire hydrant. We're going to drag the zip file in. Okay, we're not going to drag. We're going to drag the zip file in. We're going to drag the icon in. We're going to go and shut down our tablet software so drop-down boxes work. Okay, here we are. Nature, props, miscellaneous, planet coaster, simple. What's the price for a fire hydrant? $5? Doesn't cost anything to run. It sounds like metal, and it's a small sound. Now, FlexiColors. We're going to go with red for the main body. We're going to go with black for the adjustment pieces. We're going to go with black for the adjustment pieces. We're going to go back to red. And we're going to go with black for the bolts. Okay, so there we go. Fire hydrant. We're uploading fire hydrant version 1. And we're submitting. Ah! And it's going to fail immediately because I forgot the FBX files. Just kidding. In queue. FlexiColor is the color, the 4 colors you can choose from. There's 4 FlexiColors in Planet Coaster, so when you put down a model of something, there's a possibility of anywhere from none to 4 colors that you can change on that model. And that's yeah, and that's what that is. So, like, where is it? Materials. So if you go in here, you can see that you've got FlexiColor 1 through 4, and they go on top of a base color. And things like smoothness and roughness, cavity, ambient occlusion, metalness, normalness, etc. are all put on top of that. See, the bad thing here is hydrant that looks like this. Come on, Photoshop. Why will you not listen? Yes, go on this screen. Thank you. Once I have that, I can actually use this tool called Crazy Bump. And what Crazy Bump can do is, based on the coloration of things on the laid out texture, it can create bump maps, which can, you can create an ambient occlusion map. You can create a specular map, an emissive map. Well, maybe not an emissive map, but normal maps. A normal is shows which direction the 90 degree is. The normals. So yeah, there's so much we're gonna be able to, we're gonna have to learn to do with all this. Like truly, this is the biggest thing to ever come to Planet Coaster ever. I couldn't imagine if it worked. Imagine if it worked the first time. Like we're building finally. That's something. But I can't imagine if this worked the first time. My wallpaper didn't work the first time. My wallpaper didn't even work the last time. I uploaded files that worked. I re-uploaded files that worked here, and they didn't work. So, you know, I'm going to have to take all this with a grain of salt. What happens here? Now, I know that wasn't a picture of our fire hydrant that I uploaded, but before I have that picture of my fire hydrant, I'm actually going to have it in Planet Coaster and take that picture in Planet Coaster on a white background and then re-upload everything with the new picture and then upload to the workshop, if that ever happens. I'm really surprised it's still building. I thought it would have failed a long time ago. But I guess, you know, this is definitely a lot more complex. Whoops. A lot more complex than what we had before. Like, even level of detail changes are like massive. I really wish I could tell how many triangles were on things. So the whole model, with all 5 levels of details, is 20,898 triangles. Now that's a lot. It really is. They have chains. Oh, fire hydrants. Yeah. That's the defaults, yeah. So when you're in here and you're in the create item screen, these 4 colors are what would your default be for your 4 colors. So if we look at my masks, why are you alone in the chat? I don't know. There's like 18 people here. You're not really alone in the chat. You're just alone in Twitch. There's more people over in on YouTube. So, what am I saying here? So these would be my masks for those colors. So any sections covered in here would be colored with color 1, F2, F3, and F4 is just actually 4 points on the corners. I hope that helps. So, we're still building. I'm kind of excited it's taken this long, and it hasn't just thrown it back at me immediately and said, no. You can see my other chats, but on the screen. Yeah. Yep. See, I don't stream to YouTube, Twitch, or Mixer. I stream to Restream, and Restream just basically distributes my stream to multiple places. But they also have an app that aggregates the chat feed so that I can read it all in one thing and display it all on my screen. It's just right now the colors aren't so great for this, even though I can clearly see what you said. I can see what Noah said. Yeah, it's all good. Oh, look at this. Okay, we are going to download Fire Hydrant. And we're going to fire up Planet Coaster. We're going to put Fire Hydrant in Planet Coaster. And we're going to see if it works. I didn't think we were getting here today. I thought we were a week away from this, being as I was not going to be doing a lot of it during the week. Okay, okay, so we've downloaded it. I've got it. I'm going to move it into my Documents, Frontier Developments, Planet Coaster, TMT, and I'm going to put it there with my vintage wallpaper. Here we go. Here we go. Oh, and what's the next thing? Oh, yeah. Yeah. Planet Coaster. Here we go. Now I would load up a real world. No, I'm going to. You know what? I'm gonna try put this into the scary thing. That's what I'm going to try to do. I'm not going to just load an empty world and put a fire hydrant in it. Of course, I'm starting to wonder why it would fit in Scary World, because there's no places where vehicles can go. I guess you guys can probably hear that. I can't even hear that. I'm gonna put on some headphones. Now, this does not mean we're done, eh? Okay, something scary? Okay, so the suspense is building. Now, of course, I've loaded up something scary, which is going to take a minute or two to load up. Because, I don't know, I'm enjoying the suspense myself. I don't know if everybody else is. But, you know, thinking about it, put cobwebs around? Oh, yeah, cobwebs around it, yeah. Yeah, it all depends on the back color. On what we can see in the chat. So yeah, we will see. I guess maybe adding a it's actually going to be kind of freaky. Of course, now I'm also going to go check to see if there's already a fire hydrant in the game, which is something I should have probably done earlier. I think the next thing I'm going to build is going to use transparency as well. But I think the next thing I'm going to build is not the blue police phone booth like the TARDIS, but the red public phone booth. I'm going to build those. Build that next, I think. Because that will have, like... like transparency. It'll have a lot more things to think about than just what I'm doing here. There'll have to be a phone in there. So yeah, I'll have to build a phone. But yeah, we'll see. Like I would bet that a lot of things that are on the workshop so far are actually just models that already existed. Because, you know, when I heard this, I'm like, oh yeah, okay, I can go download a model of something, an OBJ file from somewhere, and just put it in there. I'm actually really surprised the Utah teapot's not in there yet. Because, really? Okay, so here we go. Here's something scary. So where do I put fire hydrants? Whoa. Fire hydrants in something scary. You know what's really weird? I'm using the middle mouse button to navigate. I don't use the middle mouse button to navigate in Planet Coaster. I use the left and right mouse buttons. But because I've been using Blender so often, my brain has switched. Tool kit items. Let's see what we got here. Oh, look, we got a fire hydrant. Okay, I'm really confused. Okay, this... Well, that's cool. But it doesn't work. The only thing I can change the damn color of is the bolts. You know, that thing that wouldn't work? Here's blue bolts on a green. So, according to my map, and what so F1 should be the color of the center. This should just be the middle. F2 should be these ends. So I should be able to make those dark gray. But that's not what happened. F3 is this and this, the top and the bottom. But that changed the color of the bolts. And F4 should be the bolts. And that changes the color of everything. Okay. Slow. I guess it's no slower than the menu usually is. But look at it! Like, obviously it works. The base colors are perfect. But then when you go to change them, it just goes nutty. I'm really happy with it though. Like I'm like ecstatic. Like this turned out awesome. Now, the question, of course, is this. A little big, isn't it? Yeah, if I go to the Toolmaker's website, like there's no details on it, other than, you know, this is what it is. Okay, yeah, I'm gonna. I don't know what I'm gonna do. Yeah, it's got to be smaller. Which really sucks. Well, actually, it's easy to fix. I just have to do all those level of details again. Try to re-upload the zip file. Yeah, Yeah, see, they have a fire hydrant. But theirs is totally different. Totally different idea. Mine's too big. But theirs is kind of like blah. It blows water out, but I could blow water out of mine too, just by sticking a water thing in it. But yeah, okay, so we know what we're going to be doing next time. We're going to be resizing this thing. We're going to be trying to figure out what's going on with the colors. You know, I was so happy when like, I could go in, re-upload it. We could change the colors. Oh, sorry, I'm not on Planet Coaster. Yeah, it is a giant fire hydrant. Like I was... Why isn't Planet Coaster showing? Oh, it is. It is. Never mind. Like, there's a regular size fire hydrant. So, yeah. But I don't care. It was like, wow. That was the most complex 3D object I've ever built in my life. It didn't take me forever to build it. It uploaded and worked the first time. The whole level of detail drop methodology, that all worked. I don't think I could be happier with the way this turned out, except if the colors worked. If the colors worked, I'd be like losing my mind right now. See, and it doesn't change it. It's exactly the same. I don't know how that is. Because I know we've got our colors right. Did I spell material wrong somewhere? No. And of course, what blows me away more than anything is that the bolts work. Like, there's another color that you'd see of a fire hydrant. So why did changing the color of the bolts... See, there's something wrong with that mask. Right from the get-go, there's something wrong with that mask. Everything seems to be in the right place. Except, I don't get the separate colors. For, like, F2 should be these things. And they're not. They don't change color separately. So, I'm going to leave this here. I had a blast today. I did not think things would go so well. I didn't think there was any way we were possibly going to get as far into this as we did. Like, that's just crazy in itself. So, I got some more work to do, it seems. And I don't know what that work is. So we'll have to just wait and see. Maybe I'll see if I can chat with anybody on Steam to see if they have any ideas, what they ran into when they were uploading stuff. You know, I think there's a couple of people I know that have uploaded something. But we'll have a look. We'll see. I am happy, though. I am really happy that I uploaded, and we have a fire hydrant. And I don't have to go and mess. It even looks right. If I just make it the right size, I'm not even going to have to mess with you know, occlusions and all that. It just looks right. And I'm happy about that. So until next time, which won't be long from now, and I think I'm going to jump in and play some Fallout 76 today. I don't know. We'll see. Later today. So yeah, I'm going to leave this here. And until next time, I'm GameFace. This was Planet Coaster. If y'all liked it, click the button. And don't forget to subscribe. I'd like to thank you so much for watching. And I will see you next time.